All right, we are officially live. Let me share the link real quick. Put it in Discord. We are live. Everyone. It has been an interesting morning for sure. We have Bitcoin pulling back a bit here. Let's see what happens in the next few minutes. Putting the link up on YouTube. Join me live. All right. Make sure it gets posted. What is going on, guys? SDT, what's up? Mehak? Am I saying that right? Mehak? What's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Will Bitcoin go back above, back to 70K? Yeah, it definitely can. It is definitely possible. All right, so let's see what we got here so far. So we've had overnight, we had a big rally overnight. You see NQ had a very, very big rally. Let me move this out the way. And we're basically at all-time highs for NASDAQ. Same thing with ES. They're basically extremely correlated. And then we have Bitcoin, who also went up overnight. However, right now it's going in the opposite direction of NASDAQ. So I'm wondering what would be an interesting setup here is a reversal here for crypto, for Bitcoin. So right now, we're not going to enter anything in crypto. There's no reason to because it's going in opposite direction. We're going to wait and see what happens. Correct pronouns, please. Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce it, brother. I'm sorry. SDT, your name is Jay also? Nice. JJ. Garmore, what's going on? Nah, I think this is the start. This is probably the start of the July bounce. We got to see what happens here. So this is setting up an interesting setup here. Let me start prepping because I gotta be ready if we enter something. So let me start prepping. I don't want to be caught with my pants down. Depending on what happens here, we might enter a position So the best long setup, we have Sol, we have ETH, Sol, AVAX, XRP. They're all pretty strong today. Ethereum's definitely looking like the strongest one to me this morning. Solana's pretty strong as well. If we enter something, if we enter a long, it will likely be in Ethereum. It's looking like the longest play. I mean, like the strongest. But we're getting rejected. So let me see what's going on over here. Yeah, so basically we're likely gonna need some continuation here. So a push up, a break above all-time highs here in the stock market. We got 29 people in here. What's going on, guys? Say hello in the chat so I can say what's up. What's up, Misty? How you doing? The second resistance magic box. Good short setup, I guess. Right now it's a little tricky. At least for any swing trades, it's a little tricky. For day trades, we gotta wait for more information right now. It's going in the opposite direction of everything else, which that we don't take those. So we're going to wait. We need more information basically. Tau, I don't really trade Tau. I stick to the majors. I stick to major cryptos. I don't really trade um, beyond that. Dastin, what's going on, brother? Minas, good to see you as well. All right, so we're waiting on something to happen. Ever since the market opened, it started off strong and then it just seems like it's kind of died off. So we're waiting to see what's happening. Right now, the only setup for crypto is really a short. It would be something like this. I probably put it somewhere up here. Let me see what it looks like up here. Could honestly do something like that. Maybe even a $600 position. So that's an idea, but I can't take it because it just doesn't meet all my requirements. So that's just kind of how it is sometimes, right? We're seeing here on the moves down, volume has been kind of soft, kind of falling off. So not really a position we can take right now. We just kind of have to wait. What I say about July rally? Um, I don't remember what I said. July, it might rally. I think that's what I said. Um, yeah, July's usually bullish for crypto. Second half of June, we might be setting up for that July rally. We will have to wait and see what happens. The move up this morning is because the U.S. and Iran war. Yeah, there is like a peace deal announced. So that's basically why everything is moving up. If BTC will bottom in October this year, yeah, that's why I've made those posts. Um, that's the that's the probability. That's what the odds are telling us based on history. July will be a trap month. Yep. Yep, because August, September are both really, really bad months for crypto. Yeah, it's definitely possible. It is definitely possible that it starts early because we've been we had a massive sell off. We've cleared all the shorts. We've cleared all the longs, I mean, that were over leveraged. Took them all out, hit a knee low, swept the lows. We were oversold. We had a bullish divergence basically on every timing, on every time frame. Um, yeah, we had a lot of things to the short side already. So it's only right that we have a relief rally because price doesn't just go down. Right? So a relief rally to like 70, 72K is possible, maybe even 75. I don't think we go back to 80K. I think we stay below that during the July rally because based on the overall structure, we should be setting up a lower high. So that's what I'm looking for in July is a lower high. If we get that lower high in July, then that means we're going to go lower in August, September. That's kind of like our confirmation. We're looking now for the next month or so. We're looking for a lower high, which basically ends up being our confirmation for a. All right, so this is interesting here. We might be getting. Let's set this up and see what this looks like. So we need at least 400 here. We can target the top of this. Something like this. And then we'd run it on we'd run it on Ethereum. I think it's the strongest. So we can probably target that. This is just so, we need at least $20. The position is too tight here. So we'd have to set something up like this. I'm just not sure if I like it. Um, the reversal was a little weak. And I mean, it's possible. I don't know why Bitcoin today is going in opposite direction of everything else. But this is basically the play here. Let me pull it up here. Um, 1784.6. Like, I don't love it. But that's kind of the setup that we're seeing here. I'm not too confident in the way everything else is kind of behaving. So we're gonna lower our risk to 0.5. And let me make sure I put the signal's coming out super late here. It's just because I'm not super confident in it. But that's kind of the setup. This is kind of the setup in Bitcoin. It's kind of something like this. The idea here is that we had a manipulation move down in Bitcoin and then a reversal back up. So that's the whole idea on this play. However, I'm not super confident in it. And we might have missed it overall. So I might update the positions here. So let me see. We can lower. We can put this just below here. How much time we got? I'm gonna have to market order this. Hold on. Let me cancel. Cancel everything and just kind of enter there. I'm gonna update the position here. All right, so our entry changed because price had kind of left already. So we updated our overall play because we got the continuation. Let me change the, let me just kind of remove this. We're still sticking to updated. We're sticking to half position size just because, again, we're not super confident in it. And then take profit, we can lower down. All right, so that's kind of the overall play here. Now it's a weird play. It met like almost all of our rules, but didn't quite hit all of them, which is why we lowered our position size. And stock market is dropping down, which is weird because Bitcoin's going up Bitcoin was going down while the stock market was going up, and then now stock market's going down while Bitcoin's going up. It's very weird, right? So overall, we want to kind of manage our risk. Now let me set up my position real quick. 1795. And then it was 1832. All right, so we got it set up. And now let's just kind of see how it plays out. All right, let me catch up. And again, like stocks are going down, but they're holding up here at this midpoint level. So it looks like it's holding up here at 1703. About a 100-point drop to the bottom. We have crypto bouncing back. Now Solana is honestly looking a lot stronger. Let's see how it plays out. So this would have actually been up here if we entered here. Something like that. All right, let me catch up with the chat. Yeah, the Japan interest rates are interesting and could definitely affect crypto here. No, I didn't short sell on Bitcoin. We longed here on Ethereum, but kind of with low confidence. We didn't love it. So maybe it's a position we should have skipped. Because it's not following anything right now. Like it's weird. It's actually following oil, which crypto never follows oil. So very weird, which is why we half positioned it this morning. Let's see how it plays out. Right now, overbought on the 4-hour chart. Let me see what the what this is looking like over here. Yeah, it looks like we're getting to that overbought territory. What else? On monthly chart, lower high. Yep. I mean, they had a small correction over the last week or two. The stock market. Giannis, how you doing? Do I think it's going straight to 70K? I mean, honestly, I don't know. We have some resistance before we get to that, before we can focus on 70K. This is kind of my 4-hour chart here. So this is now turned into a support level. So we can switch this. Switch the colors on this. That's now support. So the next resistance is up here, right around $68,000. If it breaks through here, then that next level becomes 70K. So, I mean, I don't know if we're going to just completely slice through there and continue up to 70K, this week. We kind of did it when we dropped. I don't know if it's going to happen again on the way up, but we should see some resistance here. You can see that even when we dropped, we retested that level there before a continuation lower. So I think we likely go up, get here, and then we see some the price stall there. Maybe have some consolidation here, and then maybe see continuation up after that to 70K. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen this week. I don't know if it's going to happen this month. I don't know, it might happen next month. But the overall trend on the 4-hour has changed overall. We see a high, a low, high, and then a higher low, and then higher highs, right? So I'm expecting if we hit that, then we're going to probably drop maybe down here, set up a higher low once again before it tries to push past this level to 70K. So, I mean, I don't know exactly how it's going to play out. We have today it's overall bullish because of everything going on with the peace deal. But we have some other macro stuff happening with Japan interest rates. Their inflation is high. They're probably hiking rates that could affect crypto and the overall market. So we kind of got to see how that plays out. But overall, July is typically a bullish month for crypto. So it seems like it could be setting up for a July push up. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a push up to like 67, 68, consolidated back down to set up a higher low for the end of, for the end of June, kind of close out somewhere here around the $65,000 range, 64, 65, and then in July push back up, maybe push towards 70, maybe even 73 up here. Now, overall, we should get a lower high even in July on any relief rallies. So that's kind of what we're watching for next. So let's see what's going on here on all the charts. We got 48, 50 people in here. What's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're currently long in, we have a long in, what was it, Ethereum right now? I don't even know how it's doing, honestly. Kind of more or less at break even right now. Let me log in to this other, to where I took the trade so you guys can see it. I don't remember my login. There we go. All right, we're down right now, obviously. I think I under position size. I think I might have risked like a quarter. I'm not sure because I had to market order it before setting a stop loss, so I kind of had to guess my position size. And if I'm guessing, I'm shooting usually lower just to be safe. So we'll see what happens. All right. So we're pretty much at break even right now in our Ethereum trade. Nothing to do yet in NASDAQ. So we've been watching NQ, looking for a potential entry, but nothing's really set up. We're halfway through our morning trading session. So we usually only look for entries for about the first from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And usually if we don't find any entries, you know, we might just kind of like, that's it. Like we're not looking for it. We're not entering anything. So we've entered a position in crypto, no position in NQ. Let's see what happens. We're just now kind of just waiting and watching, letting things play out. And just catching up with the questions in the chat. So if you guys have any questions about anything, just let me know. And I'll try to answer if I can. If I have an answer, I'll try to answer. If I don't have an answer, then yeah. I mean, a possible short would have been on oil. I think that's kind of would have been a good setup, but it's too late now. I wasn't paying attention to it. What should we do from here, long or short ETH? It depends what you're trying to do. Right now, I am long Ethereum. Yep. So let's see. Yeah, so Solana's looking like the strongest one overall. So if the setup on Solana would have been something like this. So if we would have entered Solana instead of Ethereum, we'd be in profit. The entry on AVAX, probably something like this. Once again, our AVAX position would have been in profit. So of course, you know, today's just one of those days that the one we chose is decided to stall out a little bit. We're just under break even. However, if we would have entered Bitcoin, we'd be at break even. If we would have entered Solana or AVAX, we'd be in profit. So it's just one of those days, man. You know, you can't always get it right. But hopefully, you know, things play out our way in the end. So at this point, we're just kind of waiting to see how everything plays out. Hopefully, it goes in our direction. Basically, we want to see a continuation in the stock market because that should help our position overall. Janet, it's a tough call, you know. Um, if the thing is, right, at this point, and I can only tell you what I do personally, right? I can't tell you what to do. You have to kind of decide on what type of risk you want to take. Um, but if I was in your position, at this point, it's too late to sell, right? We're a few months out. You know, I don't obviously don't have no clue what your entry was, so I don't know if you're at a loss. I don't know if you're in profit. Um, but you know, if I was holding, if I missed the top, I mean, at this point, it's too late to sell. Um, because sure, if that happens, if it becomes true, then it could be a good idea, right? But at this point, like, what if we already bottomed, right? That's a low probability, but it's still a possibility, right? So I think personally it's too late to sell. I think right now what you should probably be doing is just raising capital and cash to then buy in and average down your position when we get to October, when we get to September, October, right? So personally, if I was in your position, I'm not selling now. It's too late. We missed the sell window. After you miss the sell window, you don't want to sell at that point. Like you kind of want to hold off. So if it was me, I'm just letting it sit. What's another 4 months? What's another 10% to 20% loss maybe on that capital? It's not that big of a deal at this point. You've already lost the majority of from the sell window. You're already down 50% from where you should have sold. So at this point, another 10 or 20% is not worth the gamble. Based on what if in a scenario where if we already bottomed and you sell now at 70 and then it takes back off, um, you're fucked at that point, right? So because of that, it's too late. Like if I was in your position, I'm just raising capital for October and I'm putting more capital in October. That's what I would do. I can't tell you what to do. You got to kind of decide on what type of risk you want to take, on how you want to play it. But that's just kind of how I would play it, how I would set it up. What's up, Kyle? This is not a coaching stream. This is just a live stream with me trading live. So no coaching here. Coaching is on Fridays like it always is. You got to tune in, brother. Haven't seen you in any of them. It's just an orb, an opening range breakout indicator. Um, I don't know. It's literally called the orb. So I don't really know. It's called orb. So just put orb and try them all out until you find one that looks kind of like this, basically. And then you got to mess with the settings because this is not what it looks like out the box. I basically removed all the settings. Like I not removed. I removed everything except the box, basically, because it puts a bunch of nonsense on the chart. I just want the range. I only look at the orb for I only use the indicator for the opening range. I don't want any of the other nonsense that it gives me. Short towel looks great. Just need the confirmation 80 minutes. Towel TP. I don't know, man. I don't trade towel. I don't trade it. I don't look at it. I don't own it. On Fridays, I do coaching. It's private coaching though for my students. It's for my mentorship program. So you can only attend if you're part of the mentorship program. It's private. I don't do it online. I mean, I don't do it live on stream. J Man, yeah, there's already a signal, brother. We're in an Ethereum long. So it's still at break even. This is the position we took. My entry today was in Ethereum, which of course we entered Ethereum and it's the only one that hasn't moved. So it's unfortunate, but that's there's an entry on the screen right now. Entry price right here. So it's currently just under our entry price. And you know about what the mentorship? The mentorship is basically a course, a trading course that I created last year, um, where where I teach basically everything that I know, right, about trading. It's basically a shortcut to becoming a profitable trader from A to Z, right? Where you learned everything from the theory behind it, the math behind it, statistics behind it, risk management, all of that, all my strategies, exactly how I play them, all the rules, the criteria, the exact frameworks, and then how to scale up your capital to become once you learn the skill, then how to scale up your capital and actually be able to do this for a living with plenty of money so that you can hit 5 10K a month in profit. So that's pretty much what the course is, and in between you have one-on-one calls with me. Basically every time we finish one of the phases, so we do three or four calls overall, and where I answer all the questions, and of course we have a private chat with one-on-one private chat where you have direct access to me to ask me any questions day to day, whatever it is, right? So I can help you with all that, and I critique all your setups. I could critique all your entries, all your trades, everything, and I kind of tell you, break it down on what I would have done in that situation and why, and what I think you should have done, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, it's very involved. It's pretty cool. And if you're interested in it, then just send me a DM on Instagram or in Discord. If you're in the Discord, you can send me a DM in the Discord. Let me know in the chat that you sent me a DM so that I know, because I don't really check those. You can send me a DM on Instagram. I have my team that'll likely be the ones that reply. I look at it sometimes, but I get so many DMs, it's hard for me to keep up with it. But my team will definitely get back to you if you're interested in that. Yep, it could go down tomorrow. Let's see what happens with that. Can you change the live timing? This is the time that the market opens, brother. I only trade market the mornings when the market opens. I don't trade at any other time. This is literally the only times I trade. I trade 2 hours a day, and this is the time from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard is the only time I trade. Giannis, when did I get into crypto? I got into crypto in 2016 when Bitcoin was around $600. That's when I got into crypto. Um, if you came across my channel when I was doing stepping, that was something completely different. That was I don't remember what year, but that was a few years back. That was like maybe 3, 4 years ago, maybe five. I'm not sure exactly when that was. I can't really remember. Well, actually, I think it was during the 2021 bull run, right? So that would have been in 2021. I think so, about 5 years ago. I think that would have been 2021, about 5 years ago, is what, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe four. I'm not sure. Quinn, what's going on, man? Better late than never. Yeah, I mean, I haven't taken any NQ trades today. Um, but I want to eventually start throwing them in the Discord as well. The issue becomes that it's just so much different things that I'm trying to do at the same time. I will likely be late on the signal, and you will likely miss it. Um, and they're correlated. A lot of the times, NQ trades are correlated with Bitcoin, so I'm kind of sending the same signal twice. But I might start doing it at some point. Greg, how did I learn how to trade? Self taught, man. I by making a lot of mistakes, losing a lot of money. That's how I learned how to trade. I started. I think the first time I started trading was back in like 2012. So that's what, 14 years ago. And the first time I traded, I remember I I put like, I don't know, I put like 5 grand into the account, and I started trading futures. I think futures was the first thing I started trading. It was NQ, and within a month I lost all my money. And I was like, this is a scam. I'm never trading again. And that was in 2012. I didn't touch trading again until like a year later, at least 2013. 2013, I think I gave it another shot with $1,000 that time. Um, so I lost my first 5 grand. Then I had my second attempt. I did it. I only brought in $1,000, and then I just kind of worked on it, and it took me maybe from that point on like 2 years to just start getting. So like 2013, around 2015 is where I kind of got started making actually some small profit. And then I think 2016 is when I got really good and started becoming very profitable. And then not very profitable, but I was becoming more profitable, right? By 2017, 2018, I was doing it full time. And then I've been doing it ever since. So yeah, so I basically started like 2012, but I took a year break after that. So then it took me. I started back in like 2013 or 2014. I don't remember exactly when. I decided to attempt it again. It took me about 2 to 3 years from that point to actually be profitable, and then 2017, 2018 is when I went full time doing it. So I've been doing it full time for almost 10 years now. I quit my job around beginning of end of 2017, beginning of 2018. I quit my job, and I just started doing not only trading, but I started doing crypto full time. So I've been doing this full time for about 8 years now. Oh, in my work history, My work history has nothing to do with anything that has to do with trading. My work history, I went to school for audio engineering straight out of high school. I went to school for audio engineering, and then when I got out of that, I was in the music and entertainment industry for about 10 years. So I would say from like, I don't know how old I was at the time, um, but I was about 10 years doing in the music and entertainment industry. I was a writer, I was a songwriter, song producer, audio engineer, uh, anything that has to do with music. I did it at some point. I had my own studio. I worked at studios. I had my own studios. I was a signed artist, songwriter, and producer. I worked with a bunch of people, stuff like that. It eventually, I kind of, I stopped liking. I lost my passion for it eventually, um, because it was just there's a lot of politics in the music and entertainment industry, so it was a little tough to I ran into some roadblocks and that I didn't like, and I was just like, you know, it left a sour taste in my mouth. So from there, I got into real estate. Actually, that's kind of when I started being interested in finance. I got into real estate, started investing, started doing a bunch of stuff, and then from then eventually started a social media marketing agency for realtors, and I was doing that for a while, doing like Facebook ads, helping people grow their social media presence and stuff like that in real estate. And then from there, I started doing crypto as a hobby in 2016. I started trading as a hobby. As I made some money, I would throw it into the market. I would invest it. I would use it to trade. And then eventually, when I got good enough, like I was like, this is like I had found my passion at that point. Like investing, crypto, trading, like that was my passion overall. And eventually, I slowly stopped doing real estate. I slowly stopped doing. When I say stop doing real estate, I mean like out because I was a realtor. I slowly stopped taking clients for real estate. Slowly stopped taking clients for my social media marketing agency, and I just full focused on crypto and trading. Five years ago, yeah, yeah, 10 years in the crypto industry, man. Because I started 2016 around the summertime, probably. I believe it was sometime in the summer. So it's literally 10 years since I've been doing this now. Um, you know, it's tricky, right? You can do it with a small position, but you have to give yourself enough room to not get liquidated, right? And make sure that if you do get liquidated, make sure it's like a small amount of your capital. So you can open a long position and just kind of hold it, but it's it's still risky, right? Do I have a LinkedIn? I mean, I imagine I do, but it's like an old LinkedIn that I don't update. I haven't looked at it in probably like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't really use LinkedIn. I probably opened one, 10 plus years ago at some point, but I have no idea like what it is, or I don't update it or anything like that. And right now, if you search my name, like it's crazy what comes up for my name. It has nothing to do with me. It's like some guy in the UK stabbed some other guy to death or something, and he has the same name as me. So when you search my name on Google, that's literally what comes out is reports and news reports about some guy, a killer that got arrested because he stabbed someone in the UK. So I'm actually working on trying to get my name above those reports, but it's hard, man. It is so hard. Let me see if I can pull that up because that it's actually pretty funny. So if you go on Google, if you just search my name, it's literally this guy. Like, look at this. Teenager who stabbed I don't know who. Boys stab death unlawful. So so eventually my actual so this is actually my Facebook. This is actually my real Facebook here. And that's not me either. Poker, that's not me. There's a bunch of LinkedIn profiles. None of those are me. So as you can see, none of these are. This is the only one that's me. Nothing else is me. So and then all the images are of this guy that murdered some guy in in high school that stabbed somebody. Sorry. So it's pretty wild. I have to work on getting my name up on these Google searches because yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, so our position is in a very small profit. We can't even buy lunch at this point. 10x is not small leverage. The thing with leverage, remember that leverage is just how efficient are you gonna use your capital, basically, right? So is 10x small or big? It's it depends on your position size is what it really depends on. Your position size is everything. Leverage is just a tool, right? It doesn't. I could go 100x and not get liquidated if I position size correctly. So that's kind of the idea with leverage. Indonesia is here to listen, bro. What's up, Aerocats? Appreciate you tuning in. J-Man, my position, I'll pull it up right now. We're basically back at break even. I entered at 1812.80 with a stop loss at 1795. So that's my position in Ethereum right now. My take profit is 1832. Yeah, I definitely need a SEO guy, man. I need a I so I started working on SEO recently actually. When I saw that, right? I googled myself and I saw that's what came out and I was like, what in the world? I got to figure out SEO. So I've been doing some SEO. I started working on it with AI. So I'm slowly working on it. I bought up all the domains with my name basically. And I put basically pages on it with my bio. I made sure that it's getting. I'm making sure that it's getting put on Google, but it's brand new, so it's not popping out yet on Google. But if you go to my name now as a website, right? So I bought the domain my name joshmolnar.com, and then I have this, nothing crazy. It's just kind of an about a small about me, my story, etc., etc. And then I connect it with my business account, right? And then this is just one of the ways to begin doing SEO on my name. Uh, so I'm working now on a blog as well, and then I have to do some press. So I need to try to get some press going, some like news and stuff like that, because that's gonna help me rank higher than that other Josh Molnar in the Google results. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I actually started working on that in the last week or so. All right, guys, let's see what our position is doing. We're still more or less at break even. It's not really moving. We do have NQ finally coming alive and moving up a bit. Which altcoins am I interested after the bear market? Now, I get this question all the time, right? And the answer is never isn't gonna be what you want it to be, right? When people ask me this, they're expecting some crazy coins that they haven't that nobody's ever heard of that is gonna 100x. But that's not what I do, guys. I don't look for insane coins or altcoins or anything like that. I stick to the top 10 mostly, and then small positions in the top 25. That's honestly all it is. I don't do anything extra. I don't look for anything extra. It's just I'm not gonna waste my time trying to chase the next big altcoin that's not big right now. Because of all my research, I found that the top 25 altcoins typically is going to outperform 26 through 100, right? So because of that, I stick to top 25, man. It's not the sexy answer you're looking for, but that's what I do. I don't go beyond that, because beyond that, then you start getting into the gambling, and I'm just not a gambler when it comes to that. So yeah, that's pretty much how I go about my altcoins. I skip like the meme coins and stuff like that, but that's pretty much how I go about it. So I'm actually looking at. Hold on. All right, so I'm actually entering a long in NQ. So pretty much like a. Wait, where did I enter? Oh wait, my entry never triggered, bro. I'm tripping. All right, this is my actual entry here. I was talking, so I wasn't paying it. I thought I entered it already, but I didn't enter. I just set up the entry. So this is kind of the entry here, entering at 3803 with a stop at 3667 and take profit at 3938. Now, keep your position size small because we're at all-time highs. So I have no idea what's going to happen here. Also, we're at 11 o'clock. As the closer we get to 12 o'clock lunchtime, the riskier it is to open these positions here. And then finally, our volume isn't really there. We have very low volume here. So those are all things to consider on this position. It's a little risky, but I'm gonna take a shot at it and let's see how it plays out. And our Ethereum is still basically at break even, so nothing's really changed there. see. All right, we're up so far in our NASDAQ position. Ethereum, it looks like it's going into profit as well. Giannis, I don't follow the stock market uh on any big time frames. I only watch it on lower time frames here. And obviously if on days that it's not correlated, I'm not really trading it based on it. You know what I mean? So the more correlated it is, the higher my confidence in the trades that day. The lower the correlation, the lower my confidence is on trades that day for it. So I'm not only making decisions based on the stock market. I know that long term, over the overall picture, it's not correlated. So I'm never looking at it for any type of swing trades or anything like that. I'm just watching it for its confirmations, for confluence and all that. Doesn't mean it's always there. But when it is there, then I have more confidence in those setups. Uh, what's up, Reddington? Yeah, we're in a long in Ethereum that hasn't really moved much. So let me pull it up here. So we're in a long in the Nasdaq. We're in a long in Ethereum. So Ethereum, we entered at 1812 with stop loss at 1795. So we're in a long there. It ended up being, out of all our options, it's been stuck, and it's, Bitcoin's kind of been stuck. Sol has been moving up more. AVAX has been moving up more. So it's a little stuck right now. But we're gonna wait and see what happens. In the next half an hour or so, if nothing changes, we're likely gonna be looking to close our position. Of course, Chris. Appreciate you tuning in. No problem, Giannis. If you're not wrong, you had a great model for BTC. Is that still live? What do you mean a great model? Japan. Are you talking about the algorithm? Greg, can you give some strategy advice on setting or moving stop losses to avoid reversal right after being a target for liquidity sweep? Um, on setting or moving stop losses. So I don't really move stop losses unless it's up, right? I'll never move my stop loss down. So here, for example, if price starts dropping, I'm never going to grab my stop loss and move it further down to avoid getting stopped out. I'm always placing my stop losses in places of invalidation for my trade, invalidation for my overall thesis, right? So right now, my thesis is that we broke out and we should get continuation up higher. If for any reason price were to fall down here and make a lower low, then that means that my thesis is dead, right? Price should not be dropping down here and stopping me out and then going back up and setting new highs. Can it do it? Of course it can do it. But in the long term, if we set up the same scenario over and over and over again, more times than not, anytime the trade hits my stop loss, it's because it's going to go even further down, right? The trade is not likely. The odds of the trade setting up a higher high and then setting up a lower low are very low. If that happens, that's usually a reversal, right? So at that point, my thesis is dead. And if my thesis for the trade is dead, that means that I shouldn't be in that trade any longer. So my position should be closed out, right? So that's my thought process going into a trade. I'm looking to place it in an area where it's already below consolidation, below wicks, and below the higher low for in this scenario, right? So if we zoom out here, right, we can see the setup. So we had a move up, and then we have a consolidation and move down, right? So if I was entering a trade here, the setup would be like this, right? I wait for it to break the highs. Once it breaks the highs, hold on, let me fix this. I'm putting this below the lows. And this, of course, it's going to do that. Hold on. So it would be something like this, right? Let me discard that. So my trade would look something like this, right? If I'm entering here, it broke above the highs, and I'm setting my stop loss below the lows. Because in a trend, what's going to happen is price is going to grind higher, and then the lows should be higher than the previous lows, right? So that's my thesis. So as long as price continues that same pattern, that same structure, it should never hit my stop loss. If it comes down and hits my stop loss, that likely means the structure is broken and we're going to go lower, right? So at that point, my thesis is dead, and I should no longer be in the trade. So what happens here is you can see how it played out, right? It went higher, 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 and then it went down, and it continued to set higher lows, right? So it went up, higher low, then it went up again, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and it continued that. So if I'm entering any of these trades, even if I entered here, right, I'm setting my stop loss below the higher lows. And then it should not hit my stop loss unless we break the structure. So it continued up, and it could continue grinding, right? That would have never hit my stop loss. I would have hit profit. Again, I could have entered up here. Like, let's say I saw this go all the way back down, then I saw it break back above the highs, a new higher high. I'm setting up my stop loss below the higher lows. And you can see, again, it's not going to hit my stop loss unless the structure breaks. As long as the structure doesn't break, I should never have to worry about moving my stop loss, right? The only time that I'm moving my stop loss is when I'm already winning, and I'm trying to trail the lows, the higher lows, right? So at this point, I'm in profit. Let's say I decided to put my profit way up here, and I'm just gonna trail, right? So even this right here, I would have moved my stop loss in this situation up here, like below this low. So notice that even below this low right here, as price moved up, even though it returned all the way back down to the entry, it never hit it, right? So it got close, but it never hit it. And then it continued on its way up, right? So the idea is what your thesis for the trade is. If your thesis breaks, then your trade breaks, and you should close out your trade either way. So I would say that I think the overall strategy is where you're placing your stop losses. If you're placing your stop losses in the wrong places, then that might be why you're getting stopped out. If you're placing the stop losses in the right places, then you should not be getting stopped out unless your thesis is invalidated, unless your thesis dies, unless the structure breaks, right? So I think the question really is, where are you placing your stop loss and why, right? There should be a reason why you're placing your stop loss in specific places. And you should usually be looking for the low and placing your stop loss below that low. And if it gets hit, it means that that thesis, that trade idea is dead either way. And more times than not, if that gets hit, the price is gonna drop even lower. So there's no reason for you to stay in a trade. Sure, sometimes it's gonna come down, it's gonna stop me out, and it's gonna continue up higher, and that happens, right? But I'm not betting on the low odds play here. You know, that it's gonna go down, stop me out, and then go higher. I'm betting on the higher odds, the higher probability, which is that if my thesis is correct, it's not gonna come down and stop me out, right? So hopefully I answered that question. And by the way, guys, our Ethereum trade is in profit again. So we need that push up. My stop loss for the Ethereum long is 1795. The reason I put it there is because it's below a big whole number, which is 1800, right? So I'm playing in this thesis. I am playing I'm not only notice my stop loss placement, right? So we had a higher high in Ethereum, consolidation down, and a higher low. So not only did I put my stop loss below that low, but I gave it some extra room. And the reason why is because notice that this low is right around 1800, which is a big whole number, right? So whenever the low is right at a big whole number, I will typically put it under. I would move it even lower below that whole number, because whole numbers are usually psychological. What do you call it? Psychological levels, right? Psychological support levels. So I'm placing my stop below that low number with a little buffer. So that's why I put it at 1795. So usually for the confirmations, I'm looking at 4 hour trends. I'm looking at 8 hour trends, and I'm looking at 4 hour candles, 8 hour candles is usually what I'm looking at for those holds. The longer it holds, then the more likely it is that that it continues up higher. All right, guys, let me see. So we're in a small profit right now on Ethereum. We're getting to 1130. Haven't really had much continuation up, but it is starting to move a little bit, because the stock market has now started to move again. So usually at 1130, I kind of reevaluate my thesis. Is my thesis still alive, or is it dead? Right? If I think at that point it's dead, I'm closing out my trade, at break even, small profit, small loss, whatever it is. If I think it's still alive, then I leave it for another half an hour to 12 o'clock, and I reevaluate once again. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing here. Let me see what's going on. All right, so Ethereum's coming back down to break even again. So we just haven't got any movement in crypto. Martin, what do you mean that my ranges are different? I'm not sure what in what aspect are my ranges different? Like what's I'm not sure what the question is. Like what range? Are you asking like my entry? Like where I entered crypto at the bottom of the range and I entered Nasdaq at the top of the range. Is that what you're asking? I'm not sure what you mean about the ranges are different. I'm using 5 minute candles on everything. What do you mean? Look, 5 minute, 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 and 5 minute. I'm using the same exact range on everything. I'm using the I trade I day trade on the 5 minute time frame. So all my time frames are the same times. All the ranges are the same. One, two, three, four, five, six. Wait, one, two, three, four, five, six. One, two, three, four, five, six. It's all the same range. I'm not I'm not sure what you're asking. You can see the bottom. This is the bottom of the range. This candle here. Top of the range. This candle here. Top of the range. This candle here. Bottom of the range. This candle here. The sixth candle. So it's always 6 candles. It's all the same. It's all on the 5 minute time frame. It's all the first 6 candles of the open. The only thing different is the price action. Thomas, I'm not really using an indicator. The only thing I'm using is something that draws out the orb range for me. So I don't have to manually do it myself. And I honestly don't know what the name is. It's just called orb. Like that's literally it. It's called orb. So you kind of gotta just write orb and then try different ones out until you find one that kind of looks similar to this. I actually have my own version of the indicator that I'm working on. I'm not sure which one it is. Let me look for it over here on the bigger screen. Um, let me see what this one is. Okay, that one's definitely not it. Um, is it the orb custom? Let me see. Yeah, so I have my own that I'm still working on it. Actually, let me just switch over the screen. So this is my own indicator that I made for this. But it's still a work in progress. Like still, you see the stop loss is off. Like it gave me a stop loss right here. That's off. That's not where I would put my stop loss. So it gave me a target right here, which is also off. So I'm working on this one still. So I'm gonna change here. Well, actually, I'm gonna leave it. Let me see if this lets me change it to 1. Whoops. I don't know what I did. It never lets me modify my order when I do this. It's so annoying. So let's cancel it. And let's set up a new order here. We're going to sell 1 limit order. There we go. So I switched to sell just 1 contract here instead of 2. Because the idea is I'm going to likely trail it and try to make some extra money. So when we hit the first target, I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even, maybe higher, depending on what the price action looks like. So that's kind of the play that I'm going for right now. So we're up in NASDAQ, NQ, we're up about 150 on the day. In crypto, we're up about $12 on the day. So hopefully crypto could pay for our lunch today. All right, so we're getting a push up in NQ. We need crypto to follow. It's just not following. There you go. We're up $50, guys. And almost up 200 in NQ. So we got to keep that going. We're at 11:30. So we probably got like half an hour at this point before we start looking to close some trades. I'm still very upset I didn't long Solana instead of Ethereum. Ethereum got me. Ethereum tricked me. It acted like it was really strong, and then it just started consolidating. So let's keep that moving. All right, we still got 36 people in here. Welcome to the stream, guys. Right now, I'm just trading. We're in a couple trades. We're in a NQ trade and we're in a Ethereum trade. We're up on both. Where we're break even now, back to break even in Ethereum. Our NQ is in profit. We're up about 150 there. So we're hoping that we get some continuation and we make some money. If you guys have any questions about anything, let me know. right, so Solana is still the strongest crypto in this morning. AVAX is very weak. Jesus Christ. Thank God we didn't enter AVAX. We would have been at a loss. Getting a pullback in NQ, which means a pullback in crypto. BAM. Right now, there's no shorts for Bitcoin at this moment. So I'm not looking for shorts right now. The trend has changed, so there's no reason to short right now. Tomas. Maybe I already said this, but when do you stop looking for an entrance to trade? So I usually trade 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is when I'm mainly looking for an entrance. After that, very like rarely do I enter. Like today we entered in NQ kind of late. That was kind of a late entry. We entered literally at 11 a.m. At the 11 a.m. close, or it was actually 11:05 close, but yeah. That's like the latest we usually enter. So I would say about an hour or so. I'm looking between 10 and 11 a.m. is when I'm looking for entries. After that, if nothing has no entries popped up, then I'm usually not going to be taking any trades. Yeah, NQ was pumping and then it just decided to go right back down to retest that opening range. Andy, what do I think about altcoins for the next cycle? I don't know, man, cause it was oh, that's my dog. It was not it was not good this cycle because there's just so many altcoins. So if you're gonna be into any altcoins, definitely stick to the top 10, top 25 altcoins. Probably skip out the meme coins. So yeah, I like things like Solana, XRP, Tau maybe. I don't know, Bam. You're gonna have to wait for a top out signal. There's no exact price, right? It could be 70K, could be 72, could be 75, right? We don't know. We have to see it get to a price, get rejected, and start pushing back down. So right now, there's no entry. Right now is one of those times that you gotta wait for more information. There's nothing to do. There's not always a trade to be made. Yeah, about a 1 hour window or so. How did I know the enter volume was low? I mean, I didn't, right? It was kind of overall the market's been bullish, and I kind of went with that. Um, but you know, it's always tricky, and you can see it in the price action when volume is low. That means momentum is low, so it's kind of a risky trade, right? We had consolidated all day, but we are at all-time highs. We did see the overnight session grind up higher. Usually, when overnight grinds up higher, the New York continues, right? Continues that same grind. So that's kind of what I went with. on why I entered, even when we had lower volume. So that's more or less why it was why I did it, why I entered. I don't always enter, especially on lower volume. But just based off of everything happening today and the bullish sentiment and all that, I decided to enter. If Bitcoin got rejected at 67, possibly, right? This is kind of the levels I'm looking at here. If it so the level is really between 67 and 68,000. That's kind of that resistance level. If it gets rejected, it could pull back down this way to 64, 65, right? So that's definitely possible. Um, but again, you gotta and we're also getting into that overbought territory. So I'm not just gonna blindly short there. I need to see a rejection plus confirmation down that confirms a move for me. So that's what I would be looking for right now. Overall, there's not really anything to do. Oh shit, guys. Guys, look, we're up almost 200 on Ethereum. Finally, we got to move up. Let's go. Let's go, guys. We got to move up. We've been waiting on this move all morning. We need that. We need it to continue. Come on, baby. Let's go. So we're up 200 on Ethereum. We're up 150 on NQ. Yeah, they were tiptoeing the line for sure. I wouldn't enter both. Entering both is kind of risky because you're basically entering the same position twice. So you're getting double you're getting double you're risking double the size on the same position essentially, right? If NQ and NQ and S&P are like the correlation is like a 96 out of 100 or something like that. It's an insane correlation. So there's no reason to trade both of them. You have to trade one or the other. There's really no reason to trade both. You're just risking the same thing on both of them. So if you win one, you're likely gonna win both. If you lose one, you're likely gonna lose both. So it's basically you're using leverage. You're just doubling up your risk on the same position overall. Yeah, exactly like Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's no reason to long or no reason to trade both of them at the same time. They're the same position, right? So if you lose one, you're likely losing both. If you win one, you're likely winning both. So yeah, you're just making your position better, bigger, right? So you're risking twice the amount on basically the same exact position. Chris, nice, my brother. You hit TP? Hell yeah. Bro, I'm so upset we didn't enter on Solana, man. Solana would have hit. Solana would have hit. Oh yeah. Guys, Ethereum just hit profit. Ethereum hit profit, guys. Let me update. TP hit. Let's go. It was a grinder, but we got it done, guys. Let's go. And that's it. That's how trading is, guys. We just made how much did we make on that? I didn't even see it. Let me see. I don't even know what we made on it. I don't think we made a lot because we made like 400 on it because our position size was lower than where we should have been because we entered it kind of blindly entered that position. Congrats, guys. If you guys entered our Ethereum position, um, you hit profit. Congrats on that. If you entered Solana, you hit profit. If you entered Bitcoin, you'd likely be in profit, or maybe you hit profit already. I know Chris said that he hit profit already. And if you entered AVAX, as weak as it was, it's about to hit profit. So everything has hit profit today, basically, except our NQ position. Our NQ, we're still up about $100 on it. It's kind of stuck right now. So we're gonna give it probably another few minutes, and then we're likely going to make a decision on how we want to handle the rest of the trade. So we're up about 200. So this is our last position open. We're up about 200 on it, a little under 200. And we're going to see how we play this out. We're going to give it another like 15 minutes or so, and then kind of make a decision on what to do as we go into lunchtime. But congrats to everybody who took our crypto positions. We hit profit on those. I don't trade Bitcoin futures now. I've never really tried. I think the collateral for them is a lot. So I think that's why I haven't done it. Is there a micro Bitcoin futures? That would be interesting. Let me see. MBTC. Mini Bitcoin. Is this a thing? So the reason I don't trade Bitcoin futures is because the collateral and the movements are like it's a lot. So I wouldn't be able to position size properly. And there's not really any mini or micro version of it. See, like I don't even know what this is. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anything. So we're getting to that resistance area. Henry, I mean, that's a good question overall. I'm usually doing DCA, but not just those 2 months. I'm doing DCA throughout pretty much like a 4 month period, and then also a year out, like in 2027. Any pullbacks, I'm likely, and once we confirm that the trend has reversed and that we're moving up, then on any pullbacks, I'll likely continue to DCA into it. And then probably towards the end of 2027, I'll stop and then ride out 2028 and 2029, look to sell in 2029, and then 2030, we should likely have another bear market. Of course, Chris. John Carlos just hit profit. Jay, Thank you, bro. I made 2 trades. Oh my God, it's flying more. Hopefully you hit profit on those two. Yeah, Haley, that's the thing with those. Um, it's a lot of collateral, so you can't position size correctly. So you're as soon as you make a wrong call, like you're gonna learn a big lesson, and it's not gonna be good. Yeah. J man, it's up to you, brother. I took profit on it. It's up to you how you want to play it. We're up 250 on our N cube position. Jay, what you can do is take at least some profit. I would say at least 50% of profits. Take it, maybe 75, and then move up your stop loss from up to break even at least, or maybe even move it into profit itself. So that's what I would recommend if you're still holding that position open. But congrats, man. I am glad we're all making money today. We could see our last position here is NQ. And because it's 1150, what we're going to do is move up our stop loss. So I'm moving up my stop loss below the consolidation there. Going to confirm that. Now our risk is basically no risk. So that's what our trade looks like now. This is a basically a 10 to 1 at this point, risk to reward. A 10R trade. Um, but yeah, as we get closer and closer to 12, I want to limit my exposure to the market and my risk. So at this point, what we spoke about before with the stop loss, I'm doing what's called the chandelier trail stop, which is I'm looking for the pullback, I'm looking for the consolidation area, I'm looking for the higher low, and I'm moving my stop loss just below it. So at this point, if price came all the way back down, I'm out the trade at a very, very small loss. And I'm right now we're up about $300 in profit. And we're looking to ride this higher. Yeah, brother. No need to be greedy, man. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. All right. I would say late 2029 is when you're looking to take profits, but I mean, we're talking about 3 years out, 3 years, 3 years plus from now. So you'd have to reevaluate after the halving. So it's gonna depend on when the halving actually happens to try to figure out when we're gonna be looking to take profit in 2029. John Carlos, I would say my honest answer is hope is not a strategy. Um, Hope is not something that you can repeatedly do. So I would not make decisions. I would not open a short hoping for a pullback with momentum going up the way it is right now. And then what's going to happen more times than not, it's going to continue up higher and you're going to give back all the profits you just made. There's no reason to give back profits. You made money. You won already today. Like, that's it. Relax. You're happy. End it on a good note. Don't try to force another trade just to be in a trade and see if, hope that you can catch a move back down. I personally wouldn't do it, but it's up to you, of course. Tomas took 50% profit and break even stop loss. Nice, brother. J-Man, I appreciate it, man. Can I tell you about the VIP Discord channel? Yeah, so the link is in the description below. Basically it's what I'm doing on the live stream, but every day, right? In the Discord. I'm giving you my exact positions, my exact trades, and everything that I'm doing, right? And yeah, that's basically what it is. I'm showing you guys exactly, like, let me show you an example on the screen. So this is a Discord here, and this is my signals, right? I'm just giving you my exact positions. So the exact trade we took today, you can see at 10:18 a.m. I gave a ETH long with the strategy, the order type I'm using, the exact entry, stop loss, take profit, the win rate, the risk, leverage, etc. And then when we hit a profit, then I tell you that we hit profit. I update you guys. Sometimes we don't always hit profit. Sometimes we'll move the stop loss into profit. We'll manage it. Sometimes we're gonna move it to break even. Sometimes we're gonna lose. We're not gonna win every day, but we try to win more often than we lose. And that's kind of where we make our money. But yeah, it's basically the same thing that you're seeing here, except just in the Discord through text, where I'm updating my positions live, like as I make them. So if you're interested in that, I have the Discord, the link in the description below. And you could also check out my exactly every trade that I've taken this year and how we've done it month to month. So if you go to the description, there's a link that shows my trading journal, basically is what it is. And this is what my trading journal looks like. I have to actually enter my position for today, so let me update that real quick. But this is basically our exactly how we've done so far this year. Hold on. Let me update today's trade that I haven't updated it yet. So we took an ETH long at 10:18 a.m. that we won, and we closed out at about what time? What time did we hit profit? 11:43. So this one was longer than I like. The strategy was we actually took an inverse orb with a 0.5% risk. Place the entry. So our risk today was actually lower. Let me figure out exactly what that number was, because I took it kind of blind to be able to signal it to everybody as well. It's one of the things, man. Like, it's sometimes it's hard, It's hard to enter the trades plus signal it out to everyone at the same time. Let me figure out exactly. I think I did a quarter. I ended up doing a quarter risk. No, a little bit more than that. So maybe a third. A little bit more, so just over a third. All right, that's more or less where we're at with our position there. An hour-long trade, hour and a half. All right, so now let me update this. And voila, we're back at 70% for the year, baby. Let's go. So yeah, so we've made a 36% return so far year to date. We're on a heater right now. We're 26-5 over the last 31 trades. Yeah, over the last 31 trades, we're 26-5. We're up about 16 grand overall. And yeah, we've been running very, very good. And you can see the entire breakdown here. You can even see our monthly P&L. So you can see the first week we had a break even on Monday. We didn't trade Tuesday or Wednesday. Then on Thursday and Friday, we ended up taking some small losses. Then last week we won on Tuesday. We didn't take trades on Monday. We won on Tuesday. Didn't take anything on Monday or on Wednesday or Thursday. And then we got another winner on Friday. And then today we started off with a winner on, well, today on Monday, right? We'll see what tomorrow brings. And then you could actually go down here to trade history, and you can see every single trade that we've taken this year. So you can go to like next, and it shows you everything. And you can even like compare this to your chart and look at it, and you'll see the exact trades that we took. Because it gives you the date, it gives you the coin, gives you the entry and the exit. And that's basically it, man. You can see literally all our stats, all our numbers are public. We do everything publicly. We do everything live. Starting with Discord and starting with and we put everything live so that everyone could see it publicly instead of hiding it, right? Because what happens with a lot of people that trade, a lot of people aren't really profitable, and so they'll hide their stats instead of showing their stats. So I like to publicly put everything out. And not only are all these trades out publicly, but we signal all of these exact trades in the Discord. So none of these trades that I have here on here are like just discretionary trades where I entered and nobody else knew about it, right? I've signaled every one of these trades in the Discord live on the moment that we entered those trades. So before we won the trade, before we lost the trade, whatever the result ended up being is what it ended up being. But every signal was posted live in the Discord. Last 90 days. Let me see. Last 3 months? Yeah, so here's the last 90 days. So over the last 90 days, we have a 77% win rate, 16% total return. And we're up about 16 grand on a $100,000 account. So it just kind of gives you an idea of what you would make on a $100,000 account, because that's usually what I'm trading with. But the overall number is up 16% over the last 3 months with about a 1% drawdown. And then you could go back, you could look at May. So here's the complete picture for May. This is exactly how we traded in May. We made about 6 grand in May. A lot of green. This is April. April, we actually didn't lose not one trade. We had a lot of break evens, which is the yellow ones, but we didn't lose any trades. Then March was probably our worst month, where we have a lot of red, but we still ended up making a small little profit. February, we had a very good month. We made over 10 grand that month. And then in January, we had kind of a mixed month. That's December. I don't really count that. So overall, we've had a really good year. And this is where we're at right now. So over the last 90 days, we're actually at a 77% win rate. The VIP lasts for a month. Sorry, I misunderstood your question, Aster. VIP is 30-day membership, or you can do the yearly, of course. um, yeah. So I have to. I'm trying to update all of my futures. I don't have all of them in for the year yet. I do have some of them, so I'll show you here. Let me pull that one up. So futures, this is more or less where I'm at on futures. However, this is only 43 trades. I have to, because I was doing it on a spreadsheet before, and I've been updating it whenever I get some time. So this is kind of what my futures looks like, and I've been on a very hot run, right? I've been running very hot, and also I have to update last week. I haven't updated the last week. Last week I took a couple losses, so I think I took 2 or 3 losses last week. So I got to update it. But overall we're up about 20%. If we just look at, yeah, so I haven't put in January, February, and I'm still on March. So I'm still inputting all my info from March. So I really only have April, May, and some of June. I still have to input a few positions on June. But overall, we've been doing really well. We're doing better than crypto, just a little bit, but we're right around. We're at 70% in crypto. We're likely somewhere there as well here in futures. It's just I haven't got through all the months yet. So once I put all of them in, we ran into a few tough months, so it'll drop this win rate to about 70%. So we're consistently sitting around 70%. All right, guys, it is 12:05, and we still have our position open. We're up 300 here. J-Man, how often will I do the live trading session? I do lives about once or twice a week. So I do it once or twice a week. It just depends what else I got going on that week. So I try to do them on Mondays. Sometimes I'll try to do a second one on Wednesday or Thursday, depending what else I have going on during the week. Oh, Aster, the VIP, that's the mentorship. That's not the VIP. So the mentorship is something completely different than the VIP itself. So for Signals itself is 1 month, right? It's a 30-day period. And for the Signals, and if you're in the mentorship, then you get lifetime access to the VIP Signals itself, but it's a lot more expensive because you're taking it's an entire one-on-one mentorship basically. Yes, I do yearly subscribe for the VIP. If you want, I can send you the link. I actually have a new website that I've been working on for the VIP. If you want to try that one, you can. Let me pull it up. So I haven't publicly released this one yet. Publicly, I'm still been posting the, what do you call it? The WAP page, but I'm slowly switching over to this page, which is bitcoindaily.vip. And basically it's all the same stuff. I'm trying to just kind of make my own thing, and here you can see my journal, and you can see everything that, exactly what it looks like. And then you can sign up here. So you can do the yearly here, the VIP if you want to do the regular one, or the VIP premium. So this is a new plan that I'm introducing, where you're gonna get everything in the VIP plus a one-on-one Discord channel with me, where I can review your trades personally and give you feedback and ask direct questions anytime you want. So this is a new thing that I'm working on now that I'm introducing here with the new website. So, or you can do the month to month as well. So that website is bitcoindaily.vip. So you guys can check that out as well. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat, bitcoindaily.vip. Make sure I wrote it correctly. So that's the website. All right, guys. So where are we at? We're up 340 on our position. We've moved our stop loss up. If we get a leg up, so I'm probably going to start wrapping up here because I've been live for 2 hours now, and I'm tired and I'm hungry. But we're up about 350, and this is how I'm playing the rest of this trade. For those of you who are following the NASDAQ trade, I'm going to explain how I'm playing it. All right, so here's my thinking. I'm waiting on a leg up, right? I want to see a leg up. Then if we do get that leg up, I'm grabbing my stop loss and I'm putting it under the lower highs, under all of these. That's kind of the idea for me right now. If it just continues to consolidate there as well, or if I have to go, if I'm no longer going to be watching it, I'm also putting my stop loss here at the same spot, which is about 38.61. So if it comes down, I just kind of get out there at a profit, and we're good with it. If it continues up, then we're going to make a lot more money, and then we're going to take profit on one of our contracts, leave another one running, and we're going to try to kind of chase it up, right? We're going to try to try to make as much money as possible. So that's kind of the idea for this trade. Cause yeah, we're pretty much, it's pretty much a win already. We're up 320 something. No reason to give that money back. So if you want, you could put your stop loss here already and go about your day. You want a crypto trade, you want a futures trade, you should have made a nice little profit overall on the day. So I think in total we're up 300 plus the other 300 or 400, so like 700 on the day, something like that, in profit today. And it could, if this hits our target, that's gonna turn into about $900 in profit on the day. So it's gonna depend, depending how this ends up playing out is how much we're gonna end up making on the day. I love to aim for $1,000 profit per day, but today our crypto position was smaller, so that's why we ended up more around 400 on the day on that position. And then this one, we're targeting about 500 profit on this one, plus maybe more. So yeah, we'll end up somewhere around $900 profit on the day. But yeah, if you followed any of our trades, you should have made some profits today. I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's been a nice way to start the week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. I will try to be live again either on Wednesday or Thursday, likely. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to probably work on a video to put out this week again. And then on Friday I have my coaching session, so I can't do Friday. So I will likely be live streaming again Wednesday or Thursday. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you guys all made some money with me. And that's pretty much it. Jay He in and out. See you guys.